What's going on? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Morbius. Today is Tuesday. That means another episode of Comic Relief. I'm excited about today's episode. I know y'all excited, so let's just get into it, y'all. You.
What's going on, brother?
What's going on, my brother? How you doing, man?
Not much, man. Doing good, good.
Another day, brother. Another day.
Yeah, yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Tuesday already.
Is it Tuesday? Jesus Christ, that came quick. You know?
Wednesday be here before you know it.
You know what I'm saying?
Through the week.
Happen like this, man. Guys, it is Tuesday, another episode of Comic Relief. I'm joined, of course, with the homie and the family, Big Paul Morris, back-to-back issues, as usual. Sir. And yeah, man, I'm excited. I got my glasses, y'all. Finally, I got
looking good this week, brother. Got the specs on.
I got the specs on, so I'm like watching the fucking chat now. Y'all ain't gonna be sliding through my chat like last time.
He was
talking shit, saying some slick shit. I had my glasses, I couldn't see the chat. Now I'm gonna catch y'all. I'm on y'all now. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching that chat heavy today. But yeah, I'm excited, guys. As usual, real quick, let's just give a quick cheers, salute to everybody who's watching the show, everybody catching the replay. If you got a drink, salute to you. If you don't, salute to you. Of course, you already know I was drinking that Henny. To be honest, guys, Paul, you drinking your Stellas, right?
Yes, sir. I'm just trying to class it up a little bit.
Class it up a little bit. You know, you're going to make me class it up now. You know that? I'm going to have to. I thought this was like classy, but you really took it to the next level. You took it to that official classiness. You know what I'm saying?
Size X-Men 1 in your face.
You can't get any more classier than that, brother. That's just an amazing cup there. But yeah, honestly, with the drinks, behind the scenes, you know, we give our cheers and stuff. And a coworker had brought me like a traditional rum from my country. I'm Dominican, for those who don't know. He came back from DR and he brought me here it is right here. Brugales is a traditional rum, and this is a version of it. And I totally forgot how much I don't like it. So I actually had poured a cup before the show started. And I was like, yeah, this is what I'm going to drink throughout the show. Took a sip, and I was just like, yeah, we got to put that back in and go get my Hennessy. So,
switch that back up.
Yeah, let's just keep it the way it usually is. Grab the Henny, you know what I mean? Filled it up, and then that's what we're working with now. We got that Henny now. So, but I wanted to give a shout out, you know what I mean, to DR. You know, they do. It's made from molasses, actually. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. So it has that little aftertaste to it that really is just fucks me up a little bit, man. But maybe I'll start sipping it if I kill the Henny, you know. So we'll see. You know how it goes, man. But let's get into this chat, guys. Actually, before we get into the chat, today's topic, we're gonna be talking about, you know, what's more impressive. What would you prefer to see? I know we all got different tastes, so obviously we're gonna go through everybody. But what would impress you more if somebody just pulls out a whole collection of keys and / grails, or somebody pulls out a collection of just runs, just all runs? You know what I mean? So like, we're gonna get into it today. We're gonna talk about it. I gotta put the link in the chat. I'm gonna do that right now after we get into the chat. So let's get to the chat. Yeah, I said chat like 5 times in like 1 second.
It's a lot of chatting, bro.
It's a lot of chatting. You know what I mean? So I see it right now. So what's up, everybody? Salute to everybody hanging out with us. You know what I'm saying? We got Fish Scale in the building. What's good? He ready to light it up, son. Light it, don't fight it. You know what I mean? We got Blue Cow. What's going on, man? Appreciate you always coming in. Of course, we got Big Daddy Drew. What's good, John? Man? Big Daddy John showing off that 3 in the basement haul all week. He going in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
he going in. And of course, who else we got here? We got Alex in the building. What's going on, my brother? Appreciate you hanging out with us, man. We got the professor. What's good, David? Always a pleasure having you. And we got the homegirl Candace hanging out with us. What up, Candace?
What's up, Candace? How's it going?
Appreciate you hanging out with us.
So
yeah, we got Soul. I don't know.
Yeah.
What up, Soul? Yeah. What up? Nah, I'm just fucking around. What up, Soul? Shout out to Big Soul. Always a pleasure having him in the building.
He was dropping his newsstand knowledge at the 3 Men show. So.
Oh yeah, Soul, man, he's a beast, man. Soul is so knowledgeable. Let me drop that link real quick. Hold on, guys, so we could get y'all up in here, hang out with us for a little bit. So yeah, I love Soul, man. Soul has that knowledge, man. He be breaking it down when it comes to these books. I appreciate it. That's one person out here I appreciate, as well as all of you guys. I appreciate, But let's get into it, man.
Definitely.
I put the link in the chat. Anybody who wants to jump on. Yeah, let's just set it off correct.
They're jumping right in tonight. They're jumping in.
Correct, son. I think complete runs, although either are impressive in my opinion. Either are impressive. Oh, okay, yeah. Either, but yeah, definitely. I think, of course, obviously, okay, fish scale. We already knew that fish scale. Quality over quantity. We knew that.
What if you have quality and quantity?
Right, exactly. Like you can have that both. You know what I'm saying? You can have that. You can have both of them. If you complete the whole runs. You feel me? You smell me?
You'll have both.
You smell what the Rock is cooking there. So it's like, if you got these complete runs, obviously you got the key with it. Obviously, if you have the complete runs, So I mean, not everybody can, of course, but I feel like
technically, I got a little question about that. He's saying quality over quantity. What is he considering quality? Money, or just like, you just keep all the good storylines? You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, if you're saying quality means money,
go fish.
We need some explanation.
We need some clarity on that. It's a good one.
What is your definition of quality?
Right. Break down your definition of quality. But yeah, what Dave said also, both are possible. Yes, both are possible. You can have them both, which is why I feel that possibility falls more when you deal with completing runs. I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. You see this?
But they both $1.
Exactly. You know what I mean? You still getting your money's worth, Yeah, but I think like a lot of it is I see this is real touch and go, this topic, because you also have that, you got to have that understanding that, to complete runs, there is like a timeline. I have to say, like, you have to have been between a certain timeline to be able to capture, you know what I mean, that ability to have that run in a reasonable, manner, in the sense that you're not, because right now you could get a lot of fillers for cheap when filling these runs outside of the keys, right? But there are runs that even the fillers, you know what I mean, they're not as cheap, especially if you want them in good condition. It's going to be pricey to complete a run basically now, compared to somebody who was there at the time grabbing it off the rack. You know what I mean? And it was pretty easy. That's why I say, like, older guys, yeah, you kind of get that leeway because we were kind of like there. So it was easier for us to complete our run. On that. Right. We had a head start. So it's easier to complete that run. But for people who are starting in or who already been in for a while, but just wasn't there at that cusp, and now they're just backtracking. I mean, we backtrack also because there's plenty of runs that I didn't complete that I'm still trying to complete. I know you just finished your Namor. You know what I mean? So it's like,
that's only excuse me, that's only 72 issues. So
exactly. You know what I mean?
That's kind of one of them series where it's also, surprisingly, it's hard to find just in the wild, nice, like clean copies. I go online and buy them, but I try to find them in person when I can. So yeah, I mean, some things are just,
man, what's going on?
You just working. Hey, what's up, Jermaine? You can just pick up so much at a time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
yeah, exactly. In this case, Eileen, quantity 110, ASM beats the shit. High grade ASM 1 alone. You know what I mean? It all depends.
I mean, sometimes. So back in the day, like, so I have like a full run of X-Men, which is like, because Candace said, it depends on how long each run is, and it is true. Some of those series, like you collect Hulk, was it like 700-800 issues?
Correct.
X-Men's like 700 issues. So, but if I've been buying it for 30 years off the rack, what I mean? So it's like, at that point, they were only on like over 30 years. So like in the 180s, 190s. So I only had to go back and get 100 and something issues.
Correct. That's where I was at. That's how I completed my Hulk run, was, from like 180, where exactly 190 to 200, all the way up, which I didn't go that far. Obviously, guys, I stopped at, I think it's like at 500 I stopped at. I was like,
I was gonna say, I guess I technically don't have a.
You know, right after Thunderbolts came in, you know what I mean?
It.
Right after the Thunderbolts is where I remember I did the cutoff, you know, but it was the same thing. I just had to go back, you know, maybe, you know, 100 issues or 100 something issues, you know. It wasn't nothing crazy, you know. And doing that.
If you jumped in now and started trying to buy every issue of X-Men,
it's gonna be
you're
ridiculous,
like 800
you know?
comics. You know?
Right, it's
a
ridiculous.
lot of them are pricey, so it's tough.
Right. So no, I mean, I get it, and I understand that conflict, you know, but then again, the other side of it is where I don't understand is where you have, you know, a collection. Like, I guess because to me, being a reader, somebody who wants to enjoy the books, you know, I can't just have keys. Like, I can't just have a collection of keys. I get it. There's people who just rather have the keys, you know what I mean? Of course, because they have value and they want the money and, you know, blah, 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 or they want to be able to say they have it, or, you know, all the many different,
you know, do it for the gram.
Right. Do it for all the many reasons why people only solely buy Grails. And it's not, you know, and I get it, you know, people want to have them, but me personally, I don't see like that right there wouldn't impress me. Like a collection of Grails, and it doesn't impress me, you know, because like keys are, you know, pretty much anybody. Like, I feel like anybody could get keys if you really worked hard at it. You know what I mean?
It's just a money issue at that point.
It's just a money thing, right? I think like when I see runs, it impresses me more because I see all the work, the dedication, the time, the effort. You know, it's not about a money thing. It's a passion. It's a dedication. Like, yo, you know, when I like my comic shop owner, the first one all the way uptown from where I live, and he, you know, went to his basement. I told you about it, you know, went to his basement, and what he said,
this fucking guy.
Fillers are for dudes that drive Hondas. Grills is for those who can grip in the G-Wagon. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, shit.
Get the fuck out of here, man. You wildin', son.
Grails is for those fakers, man. That dude with the G-Wagon can't pay the tax on it.
Man, listen, man. Grails are, what up, dude? Grails are for dudes, you know what I mean? Like you said, like, Grails are for people who just wanna, you know what I mean, wanna show out. You know what I mean? It's mostly that, because a lot of times when you talk to somebody about their Grail, they don't even know nothing really about it other than, you know, the what's on the label, on the cover, you know,
they chasing that bag, you know,
and they're chasing that comic bag. You know what I mean? People want that comic bag, and that's
if you look at IG, a lot of these dudes get clout for having that shit. You know, they got like a short box of comics. That's it. But it's all like key Grails, but that's all they have. That's not impressive.
Right. It's not impressive because it's like okay, like you can't go back and get full runs, you know what I mean, of like Silver Surfer volume, you know, 2, or let's say 1, as they, depending how you want to look at it, volume 1 or 2, you know, and then volume 3, and then you're looking at, you know, other volumes, and then you got full runs of all these things, Wolverine, Punisher, like X-Men, you know, and all these different characters. Like that shit, you know, that right there is what you look at and be like, wow, that's impressive. This, yo, Phyllis off of Beta Man, man, dude.
Wildin' tonight.
You wildin'. He said he was gonna get it lit tonight. He did say he's gonna get it lit tonight. I'm trying to hold back, Fish. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to stick to the topic, and I'm, dude, I want to go in on. I'm gonna go in on you, fam. You know, I'm trying. I'm like dead serious here, and you keep throwing me off, man. I'm trying to stay focused. Trying to stay on topic, son. But yeah, beta male. I got your beta male, son. But yeah, so it's like, that's, I don't know, man. I just feel like, to me, like when I see, nah, man, ain't your bad.
It's all good, bro.
Don't fucking stop. What, you gonna bitch out now?
Keep it coming. Don't
bitch out now.
Don't go beta.
Yeah, that was real beta right there, son. That was real beta, son. Not for nothing.
That passive aggressive shit, you know.
But yeah, man, it's like, you know, to me, I think that's the most impressive thing. You know what I mean? When I see somebody who got runs, you know what I mean? Like that blows my mind, man. Yo, it's fill it up into girls up and blow the back out. Yo, son, pause. Son. Yeah, but yeah, man, it's like I don't know, man. I don't find it, you know what I mean? Like when I see grails, it's like because the way I look at it is like, yo, all right, so you could just grab like we're fortunate enough to be able to be like, all right, you know what? I'll grab like 10, 15 books off my wall and I'll go grab that fucking, whatever you got. Like like whatever you got, son. Give me a book and then I'll
And
go
that's
get
how
it.
most of those do to
Right.
have it.
I'll
That
flip
is
some
what they
books. I'll
did.
flip my books and then I'll go get it. And then I'll be like, yo, here's my fucking 12-inch dick. You know what I mean? Like, here it is. Like,
Are you impressed? Everybody on IG,
everybody
you
impressed. Everybody's
by
impressed.
my
I see it. I
AF-15?
measured it. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, basically,
It's a solid 12, son.
John Big Daddy said that, up top, he basically like if he wanted, he'd love a Cap 1, as would I. Actually, I would love this book right here. But
Nah, that's the one I want right there.
now, could I liquidate, sell some books, and I can get one all day?
All day, brother.
That's not. I don't want to do that. I love all my books. I wouldn't trade them all for one. Now, to get my X-Men one, I did do a trade, but I traded like a fucking 20 books for it. I got thousands of comics, so it's not like I blew my whole collection out to get one book. And I'll be honest with you, every book I traded, I got back. So like I
facts.
The mentality was if I trade, $50, $100, $200 books to get this thousands book, I can pick up a $50, $100 book again. You know what I mean? So it was actually for a little while, it gave me something to do. You know what I mean? Give me something to hunt again.
Yeah, exactly.
When you talk about keys, the conversation has to get stale. Well, you know what they talk about with keys. So you know what they talk about. GPA.
It never gets stale when you add math to it.
Yeah, with the census, how many graded in this grade, they
this and that, and it
you
gets
don't ever hear a slap
analytical.
guy talk about stories. They talk about fucking value. That's just facts.
Right, that's it.
You
know what I mean? And I mean, like, it is obvious, man. Like, I don't know, man. Listen, you could do your grails, you could do your keys, and that's, if that's what you into and you're not really big on, completing and reading and you just trying to flip and make your money, that is, do you know what I'm saying? But like, to me, like, if when I see runs, like, that's what blows my mind. You know what I mean? Like, that really takes me back when I see runs. When I'm going like this, you know what I mean? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not like, just number 21, not just number 32. Right. You know what I mean? Not like you just going. You know what I mean? To me, that's very impressive, man. That's work. That's time. That's dedication. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's,
and you miss a lot. Hey, what's going on, Mickey? You miss a lot with that too. Like you said, you flipping through, but if it's Hulk, and actually that whole run of Hulk, right? Because you're talking the Warlock issues. 175's got the Inhumans. 178, 77 got Warlock. 179, 180, 181, 182. Like if you had like Hulk 150 to 200, that whole run is fucking heavy.
Yeah,
maybe not heavy value or whatever. Some issues are worth more than others. I'm saying that's impressive to me.
Right, exactly. Like, it's like seeing a whole run of like, Tales of Suspense or a whole run of fucking,
Strange Tales or something.
Right. Tales to Astonish or any, like, you see a whole run of that, like, you're just like, whoa, you know what I mean? That is sick. Like, that's work. Like, you know what I mean? That's dedication. That's time. That's passion. When you see runs, compared to just keys, because keys have been diminished down to just their value. So it's like, okay, you got a key, cool, you know what I mean? But it's like, we need more than that. I don't know. For me, I get it, you know what I mean? But I just love my runs, man.
Well, it's hard work to get a run like that together, like silver, bronze age into like the copper, you 10, 12, 15, 20-year run of books. That's impressive. And that's tough to do. Like, like Swag said, basically, I mean, that's more rare than a Grail. Any of us can jump on eBay right now or any of the auction houses. Right. And you can type in whatever your Grail is, and there's multiple copies on there. And if you wanted to just, kind of sack up and just get that one book and sell or do whatever you're going to do to get it, you could do it. But to get that whole run like that is, that's work.
That's work. And like I said, unfortunately, we were fortunate to be, in this game early on, where a lot of these books and runs were affordable, that we were able to freaking, pick them up. And now we could say, yeah, I have those runs, or I have this, that, or I'm very close to completing something that to even try to start now, it's taxing. It's, you know, it really hurts the pockets. You know, the magic of the hunt is one of the greatest loves of this hobby. Correct. You know, the divine providence of finding that key issue is where you're looking for in the most random ass places is priceless. And that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? And when you strip that away, which is kind of what happening now to where we at, where now the concept of collecting is the comic bag. You know what I mean? It's no longer the hunt or no longer that whole chase of looking for the book. You know what I mean? Because now it's become easier. Paul, you say it all the time. You know, it's very easy now. You know, you just type in, you know, book you want on eBay, boom, there you go, you got it. You know, it's no hunting for that book anymore. You know, and you have people, you know, that I admire that in the community, you know, that actually stick to their guns and they're like, no, I'm not buying it on eBay. I'm gonna wait till I run into it at a con.
Find that shit in the
I'm gonna look
wild.
for it. I'm gonna find it, and that is the most fucking dopest shit ever. You know what I mean? When you see that and you hear that and you yourself do it, you know, you feel better about it. You feel more accomplished. You appreciate it more. You know, and I think that that's the disconnect now where we at now, where it's like, well, fuck all that hunting, fuck all them runs, because we hear it all the time when we're on other people's, you know, show and stuff, or we talk and we start talking about our runs, and it's about that's what impresses us, and that's what we think are what a, you know, a true collector is. Really the personification of a true collector is having runs. You know what I mean?
Right.
And because you're reading these, but that's why they sell them in sequential order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So your ass could get up and buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and read them. You know what I mean? They just didn't say, okay, this book, and now you get this book. And it's like, you know, it's like, you know, it kind of like this is where we at now. We kind of have like that disconnect of what this whole thing was about. And we hear it all the time with guys who are like, oh, but what about runs? Do we have to have runs to be real collectors? And it's like, don't ask me that because you don't want to hear my answer. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to tell you yes, you know, because that's the essence of it. You know what I mean? And I don't blame you if you just started into it. If you're new to this, I get that. I understand that. We're talking about, like we said, I keep saying that we were fortunate enough to be there at a time early on that we get these books. But I get it. People who can't. So yeah, it's okay to get those grails. But to me, I'm just not impressed by it. You know what I mean? I'm just doesn't wow me when I see just keys and grails, because it's like, okay, I could get that too if I really want.
I just think, you know what it is? Some of it is just tied into that because we've been collecting a long time. But some of it was like at the time we were collecting, right? Like I remember I tried to convey to my son one day, you know, because it seems like nowadays like a different thing, but it's like related. So in other words, like Saturday morning cartoons are like dead. Like there's nobody cares about Saturday morning cartoon. You know why? Because your son or you or me could just jump and look at any cartoon or anything we want instantly.
Facts, brother.
Back then, we couldn't. We had to. We made sure we were up early on a Saturday with our big ass Tupperware bowl full of cereal, and I was ready to watch my cartoons on a Saturday morning because that was the only way we'd see them. Same thing with the books, like you were just saying. You get a run. You're trying to read the whole story. One issue wasn't going to do it. You needed the whole run. Nowadays, the way collecting is, everything is like trade paperback. There's omnibuses. There's electronic. Like you can read it on your iPad. So if you miss it, like in other words, there's not that like desire to like, damn, I need to get
right. You needed that book.
I need 180. I need 182. I need all.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. For you to know anything, you physically had to have the book. Like when you go to, you know, you're in 8th grade or you're fresh, you know, whatever, freshman high school, and you
no Wikipedia.
Right.
No
you couldn't just pull
Google.
up the book and be like, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, hold on a second. Let me see what happened. You know what I mean? It's like you had to physically buy it and read it. You know, it's a good question, Fish. You know, was it better back then? For all right, Paul, you answer it. I'll let you
I'll
go
say
first.
so. It's like I feel like it was. I mean, it's so the thing is, back to finishing a full run though, it's better now if you are trying to just get a run, because like we had just been saying, you can jump on eBay. If I needed that X-Men one, you know, X-Men 85, just a random just issue, you know, it's hard to find in back issue bins. It's hard to find at conventions because it's not a key, because we talked about this more. If you go to conventions, it's like all wall books and then all dog shit in the boxes. You know, it's not any, there's no just like nice non-key, just regular issue. Even the title filler issue I don't even like. Why is it a filler? Just because it's not a key? It's just a regular issue, you know. But so back then it was harder. It was hard to find these books. There was no, like, no eBay, no internet, no I mean, I don't make it sound like we're fucking 100 years old, but I mean, in the 80s, there was no usable internet for
Right.
regular people.
No.
So,
It was really different. And I think that back then, I'll say it was better in a sense for the collector aspect of it. You know what I mean? Yes, it was better, as far as someone who just enjoyed it for what it is, for the story, for the books, for the chase, because
just more pure back then.
Right, it was pure because we didn't have all these distractions. We didn't have that was our entertainment, and then you read it every day, like, twice a day, sometimes depending on if it was one of those really captivating stories that you just itching away, especially with like, big characters, but I think that that's what it was for us. It was just that, we didn't have no other outlet, to distract us. That was it. So that's what we focused on. And I think that we were fortunate enough to be in that era and be able to grab that stuff. But at the same time, for newer collectors now, I understand it's harder, man. That's why what Swag said, that it was like, seeing complete runs is like more rare than a Grail. And that's why that statement right there is exactly what we're trying to say, that's why the runs are more impressive. You know what I mean? Because when you trying to substitute value over, the whole purpose of what the collection is, then you're lost between the fucking lines there. It's a blur lines now because you're not really understanding what it is that you're doing because it's money based. Because like, when you say that, runs are more rare than Grails, that's serious. You know what I mean? To me, that pretty much is self-explanatory.
In Blue Cow, man, I strongly disagree with your comment there, man. I would not say a collector is a collector no matter how they collect it. Well, you just collect slabs, to me, you're not a collector.
No.
So I mean, take that for what it is, what it's worth, I guess. But that's my opinion on it.
I don't agree with that statement. I know a lot of times people, they tend not to like that when we say that, pure collectors and stuff like that. But unfortunately, there is a difference. There is a differentiate between when you collect and the way you collect, because and then the other one is there's no wrong way to collect. Yes, there is. There's definitely many wrong ways to collect. You know what I mean?
It's all subjective. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you
it's all subjective
that.
to the individual because
that's like something a child would say. You know what I mean? Like just to have no, like, oh no, everything's good, everything's great, everything any way you want to
right.
Is fine.
It's kind of like
that's like a child's perspective. Like that's not reality.
Well, not more. It's just more like being like you're kind of being dismissive to the. It's like a dismissive way of saying like, well, I don't have to accept that responsibility, so I'm just gonna. It's just easier to say or more emotionally for me not to like feel like, oh, it's a direct attack on me. Shouldn't it just be like okay for everybody? Like, and it's like no, you're kind of trying to justify why it is what you do when in your heart of hearts that's not the correct way of going about it. You know what I mean? It's like we all know that's not the right way of going about this.
Well, it's like trying to justify it but without really justifying, because they're just there's no wrong way to collect. And you know what I mean? Like, what can you say about that?
It's like, how can you argue that, right? There's no wrong.
You don't really have to
that nullifies every opinion. Like that nullifies everything.
Yeah, they don't have
to. You know what I mean? Like every it's almost like that. If you're not with me, you're against me. You know what I mean? It's like that would be like my show here. Like, it'd be like, if you don't agree with me, you can't come on the show. You know what I mean? I don't want you in my chat. Like, that's not how that works, So you can't, the opposite of that, the polar opposite of that would be everything is okay. And like everything is good. And it's like, that's not reality. Let's stick to reality. That's not real. You know what I mean? That's not.
That's what I was trying to say. It's like a naive, like childlike perspective or something, because they don't want to face the reality. Like they don't want to face the realities of like what the world.
No, it's not even. It's not even to try to justify our opinion, because if you feel that, so basically, if you're buying, it's like us saying when we always say you're buying Grails, you're buying keys for what? Why are you solely focused on keys and Grails? Really, justify that. Like, why would you, if you're so passionate about it, you're so loving about it, why wouldn't you have all the other books that pertain to that character or to that storyline that is directly connected to that key? You get what I mean? Like that's not. So if I say that,
what made you love this character? If you
right?
don't have
It's
none of
like
his
how can
books
you
and you never read
justify
it,
something that is very obvious? We're just
Oh, because
pointing
his
out the
books are worth money.
obvious.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's pretty obvious. You can't lie and be like, oh no, I want a 9.8 because I just want a 9.8. You know, I want to. No, you don't. You want a 9.8 because that's the highest value that you could get on that book. So if you ever decide to flip it or sell it, you know you're going to get the most value for your book. So the whole purpose of having that book is based on value. It's not the book. So that's what we're saying. It's like we're not trying to create something to justify our opinion. We're just trying to state the facts that if this is how you do something, there has to be a motivation behind it. And that motivation is what? You get it? And those things are pretty obvious once you lay out all the fucking facts. You know,
Yeah, but
so
it's just easier for them to say there's no wrong way to collect.
That's what
Than
we're
to
saying.
say,
So
no, I don't really like
that's
this
where that
hobby or the
falls into
characters. I just
place.
like money.
So when
Fuck
you
this
get
hobby.
called out, it's like, oh no, there's no wrong way to collect. What are y'all talking about? Y'all the ones that are trying to gatekeep. Y'all the ones that are trying to, you know, hate and all this. No, we're not. No, we're not. We ain't trying to do that at all.
Definitely not hate.
You know, ain't no hating, ain't none of that, ain't no gatekeeping. We just telling you how it is. You know what I mean? Like, there's no, you could come at me and tell me, and I'll be like, yo, this is how it is. You know, if you chasing something based on it being valuable, then it's a money bag. That's all it is. You know what I mean? Now, if you have, to me, when somebody got runs, it's obvious they're not chasing fucking money. Yeah, they might consider and know that they'll have a slab or two and say, yeah, I know this is worth this and worth that. And yes, I know it's money, but their whole mindset of collecting is not revolving around the comic bag. You get it? They acknowledge the fact they have some books that are worth money, and they're like, yeah, I have it graded. You know, I have many of friends in the community like that. You know, but their concept of, and many of these people I'm talking about are people who won't buy on eBay and rather go hunt for these books. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying, is that you can't say like everybody's like this, but when your motivation is not based on trying to, you know, retire off this shit or send your kids to college with like, you know, a Grail, like when that's not your motivation behind it, it's very, you know, or that's what's behind it, it's very obvious. You know what I mean? So it's not about trying to justify or anything like that. It's just stating that, hey, this is the way it is. You know what I mean? It's pretty obvious. Well, see, there you go.
So, but then why would you even want the keys again? I guess I understand. I mean, that sucks. You have to lose your collection like that.
Right.
That's tough.
Yeah. That's no fun. You know what I mean?
So
I could imagine. Like me, I'm the opposite, right? Paul knows that. Like with me, when I go pick up books, I get all the fillers. You know what I mean? Like I get all the regular books first.
The last X-Men I needed was like number one. You know,
number one, like, right? The last I go for the keys last because to me that's not. You know, my what's more important to me is getting all the other books. The keys are gonna be always there. They're always gonna be there. They ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to flip them or make a buck off of it. I just want them in my collection. So I'd rather wait on the keys, try to play it out, see when is the best time to buy a key, when it's at its lowest point, then I'll try to buy it. But by then I'll have every other fucking book. You know, if I'm missing 3-4 keys, I'll have that'll be the 4 books missing from the 120 book run. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna wait on buy those keys first. I try to pan it out, try to find it at a con, you know, try to make a deal for that key or wait till it drops in price. Like that's the last thing I'm chasing is a key. I'm trying to get every other motherfucking book. You know what I mean? And get them as clean as possible. You know,
it's like you said in the beginning. I mean, honestly, if you're trying to collect a full run like that, or you're trying to like, if you love a character and you love his stories and his books, you want to get.
This is another thing right here. There's another one. Go ahead.
No, so basically, like you said earlier, though, just quick, is like you'd end up getting the keys anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like I loved Wolverine back in the day. You know, that was my guy. So I always wanted to get obviously 181 was the book back then. You know, so
yeah.
But like you just said, I had every other fucking book. I was collecting X-Men. I had his whole series, his limited series, his one shot. You know. So anyway, basically, if you collect them, then if you collect a character or a series, you'll end up with the keys anyway or whatever. If you're trying to complete it, you know.
Nah, man, it's not even. It's Bro, that all right, real quick.
Nah,
That's
man,
that beta male energy, bro. See, Fish, what you did? Digging that beta male energy. Nah, bro, nah, Kyle, nah, not even, man. Don't even look at it like that. It's not about that. You're not a collector anymore. You know what I mean? Because we would.
I mean, you have a little bit of a unique situation because you had
Right, it's different. Like this is what, like I said, this you fall in that category of the people who are just starting. You know what I mean? Who's starting over? I said it. I get it for those who are just starting. It's not easy for you to get these runs or even to get these grails. You know what I mean? Because it's different for somebody who already has books that could flip them. You know what I mean? And then get these grails or worked up to it or sold books like Fish. He sells books. So he's able to, you know, maneuver books around and get, you know, or like coffee, you know. So it's like, but we're talking about people who have been in this game, you know what I mean? Or people who, let's say, who even coming up, you know what I mean, who has a good time in this game, but yet still, you know, are focused on just that comic bag. You know what I mean? They just chase that bag. And hey, you know what I mean? If that's the way you want to go about it, cool. But don't get mad at me when you get called out on it, when you try to say that you know, use a real dime, real, you know, 100% collector, because that's not, to me, it's like, nah, man. I need to see runs, bro. You want to talk to me about collecting? I need runs, bro. I'm not impressed with keys, and I need to see runs. You know, that's the collector. You know what I mean? I collect the books, we read them, we pick them up, we take, you know, that's what we do. We follow fucking storylines, we continue with artists, you know, that's what we do, you know. And I think that
you ain't a spectator, man. We didn't mean
nah, man, we ain't mean it like that, bro. Like, damn, bro. Like, I know you're not in your feelings, Blue Cow. I know that, man. You know how we roll here, man. You know, we don't do that, man.
Yo, Jermaine, but see, when you were buying the keys, you said before they go up, so you were probably buying them back in the day a little bit. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, those shit.
I mean, I get it. You got the keys, and maybe you bought them a little bit first before you finish the rest of the run because the price. Listen, if I could have got some of these books back in the day for a cheaper price, I would have, you know, at the time. But it's all, I mean, it's all good. I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at your collection, right, it's not like you just got like, you know, whatever, a couple of the keys, X-Men 94, Giants of X-Men 1, and like, that's it. Like, you don't have any other issues of X-Men, you know. But ultimately, if you were collecting X-Men, essentially, Morb said it in the beginning, it's like self-fulfilling. You'll get the keys anyway if you're trying to finish the run.
Right, exactly. You know what I mean? And speaking of runs, let's bring this guy in here. What up, my brother?
So what's good, brother?
Yo, Fish Scale got me amped up. I pounded that first beer fast.
You did, huh? You did. Yo, I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Y'all got to hang out, man. At 3 Men in the basement, man. I'm jealous about it.
It was a good time. It was a good time. Paul came and went fast, though. Yeah. Paul comes in, gets his books. He's like, all right, peace.
Yo, Paul is a ghost.
Yo, I had the family with me.
You gotta watch Paul. Yo, when I go hunting with Paul, man, this dude, he got like
books fast.
Dude, his fingers, like, I don't know what it is. Yo. It's like they're like not keys, like the books that we look for, and the most cleanest books happen to just go to his fingers. And it's just like
why I get in and out. You know why I get in and out and grab my books and bounce? Because if I'm at a show with this dude, he'll jump in before me. So I have to be quick.
I'll be both part of him.
Hold on. Let me grab these treasures.
Yo, let me see that. Yo, Paul, look what's on the wall. Look what they got on the wall, Paul.
He jacked me for some treasuries, man.
I'm trying to keep up with this dude, man. Like,
I went to 3 Men in the basement, though. I'm big key guy now, though. Like, I'm big key guy, like Frank Miller key guy.
Well, that's like borderline, right? How does that work? So if you just collect Miller Daredevils, are you like a key guy, or you just because it's a dope story, you know?
I mean, we know.
Well, I don't know. That one's not a key, is it? So I lied.
Right. That isn't that the non-Miller cover.
Which one was that?
Which issue is that?
Well, it might be Jansen. Yeah, I don't
know.
That's
not the end.
Towards the end of the run. Yeah, towards the end of the run, it's mostly just Jansen drawing.
Yeah.
All right. No, friggin', I got sucked in. I'm doing Miller now. I wasn't looking
run,
to.
though.
Have you read it? Have you read it?
No,
You haven't read it yet. Oh,
that's
okay.
the best part.
You've never read Miller Daredevil. Wow.
I've never read Miller Daredevil. That's what I'm excited about.
Cool.
Nice.
And then I'll get to come back here and be like, this is what I read from Miller Daredevil. Let me pick y'all's brains about what you thought about Miller Daredevil.
Hold on. I thought I had mine. Hold on a second. Did I? Oh, I thought I had.
Well, I mean, technically, Miller doesn't stop writing till 168, but
Right.
Are you getting like what 158 up?
I knew I had it over here.
So,
fucking guy, see how he is, man.
See, I knew I had it over here. See? Hold on. Yeah. I knew I had it over here. I was just like, I knew I moved it.
Just laying around somewhere, you know.
Right.
Man,
right. I just keep my keys right over here.
Nah, that was from like that Daredevil reel I did. I just haven't.
Yeah.
That was like 3 months ago. It's just still there.
No, I'll be honest. This weekend I picked up some books, but I was having a hard time finding anything I was looking for, and there was a lot of Miller Daredevil in the room, and I'm like, the prices are not bad. You know, they're
good condition, good books, good condition,
good looking books. You know, no spine ticks, nice sharp corners.
Look at you.
I even took it a step further. And I was talking to Paul about this weekend. I'm a direct market only now.
Yeah, no,
only direct copies.
I don't like the fucking barcode, man. Shit's ugly.
I'm not feeling
barcode. Listen, man, it's only to a certain point. Like, I only get barcodes from the era that I was buying off the rack. Like, to me, it's like a nostalgia thing. Like, after 91, like, I don't care if it's, you know, barcode because, you know, to me, it's like I wasn't getting off the news rack pretty much after 91, 92 because I had moved away from where I was at. So I used to go, now I had to go to the shops. But from like 90 down to like 85, 84, I kind of do like my newsies because that just brings me back to that's when I began. That's when I started.
So it's not because maybe they're worth more money. Is that what you're saying?
No, because there's times that I've had, new direct copies, and I just was like, it's just something about it. I just need to have that.
Well, I'm trying to do the Ditko Marvel Tales, and so saw me. I found a whole fucking stack of them at Buzz, but they were all newsstands, and I was like, I just can't do it.
Two things about what you just said. Two things. One, when people say there's no wrong way to collect. Now, when we're talking about that, you want to get newsstands from pre-91.
Right.
There's no wrong way to collect in that sense.
No.
I like direct. I like the look of them.
Right.
Well, yeah.
The second thing, as far as value is concerned, if you're talking 1979 Marvel titles, newsstand versus direct, I don't want to hear this, people grabbed them off the shelf. Listen, in 1979, the ratio was probably 4 newsstands to every 1 direct copy.
Correct.
It's not until like
82,
this,
it was around.
Where is this?
Wasn't it? It was like I say early 80s. It was like 50-50 around. I would say
it wasn't until like mid 80s. I'll tell you because
I say 83, 84 is when it started to become. Now they started evening out. That's right. They started evening out. 84 around there is where it started evening out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Newsstand copies, early newsstand copies are very easy to find. If you want to find direct copies from 1979, you got to hunt for them. You'll find them. It's not like they're not. It's not like trying to find a Mark Jewelers or a Whitman or something like that. But you'll be hard pressed to find it.
What up, Coffee?
What's going on? Brother? Can you hear me all right?
I don't know if you can see that.
Actually, it's funny. He just hopped on because I was just ready to say when me and Soul were together this weekend, I found a Punisher Warzone #1 newsstand, which I thought was cool. It was like whatever, $3 or $4. But
that's still cool.
So this,
I mean, because by that point the newsstand was a little more,
I can't see it.
The run was scaled the other way early.
Right,
I don't even know when Warzone came out.
They were a little bit more. They weren't right. You didn't see too many of those.
So that Marvel Knights. So. Now this is a hard to find newsstand. This is a tough newsstand. I forget my man's name. This guy, he's an awesome dealer, but he had $80 on this thing. $80. Why? Because this is a hard to find newsstand copy from 2008. Find me another one. You know, people get shit wrong at low print, newsstand. No, you're full of shit. You know
how many more
sales
direct copies
tactic,
have more value than newsstand copies? Like there are direct copies that have more value than newsstand copies. And people have this misunderstanding. It just, a lot of it has to do, of course, if you want to look at it as value wise, it falls in on where you're picking it up, obviously. Where you're looking at what, like when you're looking at that 90, once it transitioning into 90, 91, newsstands now started to, it was a flip flop.
They started to slow down.
Right, started to slow down, So when you're looking at the early direct copies, that's the ones you want. You want those early direct copies. People think like, oh, those early 80 newsstands. No, you want the early 80 direct copy. You don't want the rarity. If you're looking at it as a value-wise, me, it's more nostalgic, so I'm always gonna get that newsstand copy.
I gotta give a shout out to John real quick. Fuck your blue tape, and yes, Fish Scale triggered me early on. He got me drinking beer because he was cracking me the hell up.
Shout out to Fish Scale, man. He came in like a bat out of hell, man. he fucking was. He threw me off today, man. You got me. You know what I mean? Because usually I focus, but he got me, man. I wanted to rip into him, and I was like, I can't just. I gotta stay.
I do also want to take one quick second just to show off one really big key I picked up this weekend.
Oh snap! Hold on. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Soul's working this book harder than Comic.
Yeah. Show it again. So. Woo!
Look at that.
Pushing this book, man.
Yo. First appearance of Asmodeus Jones.
I suggest I'm gonna do a spec video, and I'm putting that in the spec video, man. Y'all better make sure y'all pick that book up.
Yo, I got copies of it. Look at it. Right there. Bam. Way back in the back. Look at that. I got a Mark Jewelers kicking around this room somewhere too.
Oh, look at that. Flexing Coffee. What's going on, my brother? Talk to us.
What's up? I jumped in a little late, so I missed some of the triggering, but I did. This topic is obviously.
We were triggering up in here. We were triggering, John.
See, I missed that, so I need to get filled in. But it's said like a dead horse when it comes to collecting. You collect what you love. That's the bottom line. You want newsstands? Go get newsstands. You want to pay prices for whatever you want? You pay overpriced prices for what you want. If you're the collector like me, I shot in the chat earlier. Anybody got any of those NAMs? I'm still looking for my NAMs. I want my complete collection.
Actually, I'm a tough one to finish. I'm with you.
It is, and they're not even expensive.
Very hard.
They're not expensive books, but it's just trying to find them.
Hard to find, man.
Yeah. I need like 18 more, I think.
Wow. You'd have an easier time getting a Hulk 181 than finishing that run.
Exactly.
True though. It's cheaper, but it's harder.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you're not looking for like dog shit copies. You're just looking for some decent copies.
No, I like. See, that's the thing. I'm a low grade kid.
You're low grade, all right.
I mean, I don't mind. Like, don't get me wrong. If you got a near min on you, I'll take it. But I want the complete run. And then what I do is like, once I complete a run, then I start looking at what is this to me. Like, I want to read the entire thing in the series. I hold on to it. If it's something I really, really want to keep, then I might start looking for better qualities of each one, and I'll flip them out to get the better one. If I don't, and I like the run, I read it all, and it's good, and I want to pass it on to the next person, then I'll do that so I can free up some space for other stuff that I want to collect and want to get into.
Yeah. You are a much healthier human being than I am.
Yeah, you are definitely a more stable individual than Paul and I.
I didn't used to be.
Because and John, who's also doesn't care about grade. I don't know. It's just I hate my brothers for it. I blame them. You know what I mean? For teaching me.
John's confused me a little bit though. I don't care about grade.
Oh, wait a minute.
Slab.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait, hold on. You just connected some. John, you got some explaining to do, bro. You don't care about grade, but you got some graded books. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on?
Let me help explain something to John, because let me show you something really quick. I've got this right here talking about grade. You know what? I can't even take it out. I don't know if you can even see it back there, but it's right there. It's a Battleground comic, Golden Age. It's a 0.5 condition graded in a slab. talking about, do I want near mint books? Yeah, but would that be one that I ever want to try to find a near mint? No. Why? Because my grandfather gave me that book. That was his book that I had.
Yeah.
And so depending on the book itself, I think that's where like the collector comes in too. Like, what are you trying to collect? Or do you just want all 9/8 in a CGC slab, or do you just want all raws in near mint format? Well, do you really do I want to give up my grandpa's copy of that for a 9/8 that I find in the market? No, I don't care. Like, that's something that's more sentimental and more valuable to me in the condition it is because of what it is. I think that's a big part of the collecting aspect, though. Like my NAMs, for example, I don't have any ties to NAM. Like, in the context of like, did my grandpa give me any NAM? No. So I don't mind. I just want that run. I want to read the entire run, and I want to finish it all the way through. But if it's something I really truly want to hold on to and collect for the value and also for the condition, then I will start trading them out to find a better, even though it's a pain in the ass to find regular ones anyway. But I think that's the difference in the grade.
Yeah, collecting for value, you wouldn't be collecting NAM anyway, though.
Right, exactly.
And that proves that I'm a true collector.
True collector. It's crazy because I'm realizing more and more every time I talk, to just a good majority of the community. I am a true hoarder. I'm realizing it more and more every day. Like, I have a condition. I truly think I do. I will not let go of even free comics previews. I have a whole fucking long box of previews. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sick. Like, I just have a condition. Like,
you want this one?
No.
Don't add to the pile.
Exactly, please.
You can't throw the pile away.
I'm gonna have to go to a bigger house soon. No.
I'm telling you. No, I can get you a couple. I can get you a few here.
Morbius, I want to tell you, man. When I got rid of my
previews, duck one. I mean, let's just keep going, dude.
No. I'll tell you what, Morbius. I had 2 paper ream boxes filled with previews, and they actually fit perfectly. It was liberating the day I put them in the recycle bin.
Previews, man, just trash that shit. That's like,
I know. I'm gonna get rid of it.
I couldn't get rid of it.
No, trust me. I mentally prepare myself every weekend, and I'm just like, I'm gonna get rid of it, and then I'll be like, okay, next week.
Unless you got that Miles one, right? Is that still worth money? Was that worth money?
I sold mine. That felt great. Yes. Fuck people buying previews. I was proud to say I sold my previews. Listen, if you're buying previews, I sold that damn thing for $300. It paid for a vet bill.
See, like that statement right there, like, all these childhood books are so important. That's why I can't get rid of a lot of these books. You know what I mean?
But that's one of them cases we have to admit. I gotta admit. So I just had this thought as I was thinking about that. So, like, back in the day, I wanted Giants of X-Men 1, not anything to do with value. Because it was the story. It was like back then, the second appearance of Wolverine, whatever. So we, like, back in the day when we wanted books, it was like story or like run related. We didn't have this influx of like value grading companies. Yeah. You know, I mean, our motivation. I mean, again, just to put the term out there, but it was like our motivation was more pure. We just wanted the book for just to have it, like no other considerations.
Right.
Now, if you're in the game now and you jump in and you hear, this Giants X-Men 1, it's the first appearance of all these characters, and it's the first new team, and it's going to be the new thing, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's hard to replicate what we had like 30 years ago or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just a different 30, 40 years ago. It's just a different time.
Right. So my brother came to the show with me this weekend, and my brother got his very first comic book.
Oh, wow.
I bought him a copy of Ghost Rider number 68, the retelling of the origin, because it's a Roger Stern book, Bob Budiansky art, just friggin' fantastic.
Great
book.
Cover.
Hell yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. He went home, he enjoyed it. And now he wants to go look up books. And all his questions relate to the run. Like, where do I start? Where should I start? Like, it's still possible to recapture that. Just you can't, but somebody else can. It's still possible for somebody to go out and appreciate stories. You know, if you want to read books, if you want to read a fantastic story, you want to get involved in this. I mean, you can still hunt down high value books because you want high value books. But I'm making sure that if my brother does want to get involved in this and see this as a whole, he's going to do it from the right perspective and understand why that book is valuable. Read it for yourself and enjoy it. Take it in. Read the second, third, and fourth appearance, and it compounds why that first appearance was so important.
Right. You know, I think that, like, for me, like, just to break it down, for people who feel like if you really want something, right, you're going to work hard at it. You're going to really fucking hunt down. You're going to dig and dig and dig. I'm doing Tales to Astonish, right?
Ooh.
I'm doing Tales to Astonish, you know, fine up to very fine condition. There's nothing less than that. You know what I mean? And I'm not starting. Trust me, I understand my position. I understand economically, of course, but I'm not doing it from the beginning of the run. I'm starting, you know, what I feel to me is like a good starting point. You know, I said, you know what, I'm gonna do from 57, right, to 100, you know, 101. You know, I'm gonna go there, you know, and that to me is a decent run to you know what I mean, to work with, because I'm dealing with the beginning of Hulk, because that's my Hulk. The Hulk is my guy, so I'm trying to tie into, you know, the Hulk run. So I want to complete that, and I only have 3 books left to finish. Right. And I've been working on this for what, 6 years now?
Damn.
And these are high grade books, all raw copies, high grade. Y'all know how we do over here. You know what I mean? So, and it is feasible. You know, this is what I'm saying. If you really want something and you really, really dedicated to it, you can do it. It's going to take time. It's going to fucking take time. Tales to Astonish is before my time. So now I have to, you know, bust my ass and work hard and hunt for these books and not settle for bullshit. I'm not buying them off eBay. I'm trying to get as many as I can off the fucking cons, you know, and I'm trying to hunt for these books. So it's going to take time. There's books I bought off eBay, yes, because I felt like, you know what, at these cons, I can't get them for the price and condition. I found a great price condition. I'm going to buy it off eBay. I'm not going to fucking sit here in front. But majority of those books come from these cons, from the hunt, you know, and I'm working hard on this fucking, I got 3 more books and I'm almost done for my run, you know, but I do want to go back further, you know. It's like now I'm dabbling. I'm like, I want to go back and
if
start.
You got a 40-50 run, you know, 40-50 issue run of Tales to Astonish, man, that's
right.
heavy. That's impressive. You know,
that's astonishing.
That's
so
more impressive.
That is a tale to astonish.
You know,
yeah.
But
That's way more impressive than someone just posting a slab copy of the first Abomination, like number 89.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like the other day with Paul, I was telling you,
90,
when you go through a whole short box and it's just like, fuck, man, like this, like it blows my mind sometimes that I'm like, holy shit, this is an accomplishment to me. Like, I'd be damn if I let this shit go. I'm dying with this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, I work hard for this. You know,
to piggyback on that, Morbius, like collecting the entire run is super amazing.
Sorry,
as John's over here flexing with his 9/8 and
I don't care about the grades. That's what I'm saying. I don't
he
care
said
about the grades.
John was like, "Fuck the grade,
I'm
man."
telling you that.
Yeah, less, man.
Sorry,
but yeah, like finding that accomplishment, getting all the entire run, it's like an amazing aspect to like collecting, because you look in your short box or long box, like, dude, I got the entire thing. But there's something to be said about single issue collections as well. Like, one of my main grails, and I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to accomplish this, knock on wood I will, is trying to find Police Comics #1. Why? Because it's a stupid reason why I want it. There's a superhero from back in the day that her birthday supposedly is the exact same day as mine. Her first appearance shows up in Police Comics #1. That's the reason why I want it. It's the only reason.
That's
because
fair.
it's a superhero that shares my birthday. You know,
And how many
And
times we in pick up books that have our birthday on it? Like we all, I
Right.
mean, I'm pretty sure we've all done it. You know, and for some reason, 75 is like a hot year. So a lot of annuals came out. You know, the Giant Size X-Men. Like it's so many great books that came out in 75. Like, so I'm just like blessed. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for putting it down.
I think 79 was still a better year, but whatever.
I don't know.
72 in the house.
Listen, 83 was a bad year. 83, I came around and Ghost Rider got canceled.
I was gonna say so. 70,
I had a grandfather
72
die in
was,
83.
Spotlight 5 came out in 72. So
72, what a good year.
72 is a good year. That's a good year, though. I can't.
I'd rather 74 though. My man, Wolverine came out.
Wolverine came out 74. Yeah, 74 is good. You know, John, what's going on?
It all worked out. Put it that way.
What we doing, John?
Fucking John, you got a lot.
John came in the last minute. You see, he's slick. He's like, yo, I'm just gonna hop in real quick. I'm gonna bust out balls and I'm gonna jump the fuck out because the show is over.
That's the way I do it. That's the best way to roll.
And on that note, I'm out.
I got another show about to start.
So exactly. I don't got time for you. Fuck yeah. But John, what's give us a quick take now that you're here, real quick before we head out of here.
I mean, I'm obviously a run collector first. Like it's
is that
it's definitely
the back issues.
Yeah, I need that tomorrow. By the way, is that came out today or tomorrow?
Yeah. Well, tomorrow. Yeah.
Appreciate it. Sorry, John. I got distracted.
No worries.
Neil Adams.
Like runs mean a lot more to me than anything else, and I'm limited on space, so I got to pick and choose which runs I can hold on to, which ones mean the most to me. And I do think it is connected to reading. I do think it is connected to love of those stories or whatever. So I think a lot of times I'll read a new series and be like, oh, that was fucking amazing. Now I got to go get those issues. Do I want to go get those? Can I store those issues? How long is the run? How deep do I want to get in this? And there's been runs I started and I was like, this is just not going to work. Like I can't make this happen. I tried, I got far enough, but you know, I got to cut this off at some point here. And then there's shorter runs where you look at it like, I could do that New Mutants run. Like I could make that happen. That's easy. 100 issues. That's something smaller.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah.
But no, storage is a real concern though.
It is
huge. Like we don't all have places like Sove over here has got a giant ass, you know.
That's the enemy of the run collector is space.
Little the advantage of no kids. I just want to flex on that. No kids. No kids.
And you got more money for books, right? You're not
right.
buying
John. I got you, John.
and shoes every week.
It's a whole run right here.
There you go. My New Mutants run is at Morb's house.
Here's the whole run right here.
I mean, it's easy. 100 issues done.
It's easy.
You don't just want the Liefeld issues, or, you know,
right? You don't want those issues, you know.
Those are the winners, right?
Yeah.
No. John has them. John has them. They're graded.
Well,
it's interesting because if we think about collecting like modern books, modern is kind of a weird collection, but I am collecting all the Chip Zdarsky Batman. I don't do a lot of Batman from back in the day, but the new Chip Zdarsky run has been great. So that's the one I want to keep in my collection.
Right.
You know, so I will break up collections based on who was writing or who the artist was.
As you should, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately how I convinced myself that I wasn't going to go back and collect the first 93 issues of Uncanny X-Men or whatever. I was like, no, I'll go Claremont. I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah, no.
I'll stop
Claremont
right there.
is financially
as far as for
possible.
X-Men collectors, though, that is a real struggle because I was the same way. I was like, I'll just get 94, giant size, 94 and up.
And up.
But then I felt incomplete. Now,
right.
Nah, man, I think let me chip away at them. You know,
I'm still in the other boat. I'm still like, no.
Yeah, you're still like, fuck this.
Then there's like a subcategory. Then they're like, oh, okay, we'll just get 1 to 66. You don't need the reprint issues. But then that was even like, you know what?
No,
I need the 67 and 93. I need the reprint issues.
I went with you know what? I'll start at 12, and then I work my way up from 12. That's what I did. I said I'll do 12.
It's tough because I mean the reprint issues obviously are just reprints, so you can justify not having them. And then the Silver Age stuff is, as X-Men fans, John, whatever. not really primo material. So I
Right.
mean, if you wanted to skip Silver Age X-Men, you could.
Tell that to whatnot sellers.
Oh,
Are they pushing that, or what is it, X-Men 24, the first Locust? Is that a key now? Or
Nuts.
See, I'm trying my own angle. I'm working backwards. Like with ASM, I'm down to 99, and
You're doing it wrong.
So
no,
for
I'm,
ASM, you start at 129 and you end at 129.
listen, I just picked that up. Like we're getting there. We're working our way back. We're working our way back.
Like that's funny because that's how I did ASM. Like I worked at it in like intervals of 20. So I was like, I'll do, 80 to 100. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'll do, 60 and then 70. That's kind of the way I started. Like I would just take sections. I'll do it by sections.
Well, shout out to that book. So, because that's the best 5 issues in a 4-issue miniseries ever.
Seriously.
Exactly.
I think I got them all on my wall right here. No, I'm missing one. It's at home. I need to redo my wall.
Although that last issue is a stinker with that Mike Vosberg. No Mike Zek. It was kind of a stinker.
I know, right? That's
a disappointment.
Oh God, such a disappointment.
I got a good deal on this one in number 2. And I got 3, 4, and 5 kicking around. You know what's killing me? See,
that numbering error.
These are killing me. These stupid issues are killing me. Yeah. Like, what the hell with the prices on these books?
I don't even know.
Oh,
you don't gotta pay it.
I'm not.
But that numbering error is right up there for me with the Elektra's name spelled wrong on her first appearance cover.
Yes,
those are my favorite Marvel gaffes I think ever.
Her name spelled.
They spelled Elektra's name wrong on her first cover.
They were fucking high, bro.
What the
high shit. Guys, man, we already over the mark. It's amazing. I love it. We have a full house today. I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are excited about it. Thank everybody for hanging out still. You know what I mean? And great show. Love the topic. Once again, man. John, tell us, you got something coming after this, 9:00, right?
Yeah. 20 minutes. I'm over on KnowGoodComics, and we're talking about a really like telenovela issue of Uncanny X-Men, number 174. Everybody's having bad romance.
Oh man. Guys, make sure y'all tune in, man, and hang out with these fellas. And thank again for everybody hanging out with us. I appreciate you.
Cliffhanger ending in that issue too.
And make sure you tune in 2 weeks when I'm on.
Ooh.
Yeah, make sure you don't tune in 2 weeks when Silver's on. Make sure y'all tune in.
Say, why did Ghost Rider cross over?
What is it? Is it crossover? What's going on here?
Impossible Man shapeshifts into Ghost Rider in one panel, and he's riding Zabu.
Oh,
it's an X-Men annual. You got to be there for it.
You got to. You know what? I'm gonna
second to last episode of the season.
It is
third. Technically third.
If you count the giveaway show.
The giveaway show. Oh, you got a
debacle. That's the debacle show. Shenanigans everywhere.
I got to get that new piece of art. Dude, I got to get that new piece of art.
I got great the artist Tim
Stacy. Quit saying Seeley. Every time you say Tim Seeley, I'm like,
oh no, yeah. He sent us a little screen, like a little corner of the art, and I'm like, oh shit, that looks amazing. So
this one was freaking beautiful. We're right there.
Yeah.
It's freaking beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
Amazing, gentlemen. Now, with that being said, we are out of here. Appreciate you guys. Peace.